14 Reasons INFJs Will Forever Confuse You. INFJs are often called the most enigmatic personality type. They are warm yet distant, logical yet emotional, open yet private. The contradiction within them leaves people perplexed, wondering how someone can be both deeply intuitive and yet impossible to read. If you've ever felt like an INFJ was an unsolvable mystery, you're not alone. But for my fellow INFJs listening, this isn't about how others see us, it's about understanding why we operate the way we do. Today, we're breaking down the 14 biggest reasons INFJs will always confuse people, diving deep into our psychology, emotional world, and hidden motivations. 1. We give 100%. Until we give nothing. INFJs invest deeply in relationships, but if we reach a breaking point, we emotionally detach overnight. You've been a supportive friend for years, but when you realize they take without giving, you suddenly stop responding. The person is left confused, wondering what they did wrong, when in reality, they ignored countless small betrayals. Learn to express your needs early on rather than expecting people to read between the lines. Set boundaries before resentment builds up. 2. We see through people, yet let them fool us. INFJs can sense dishonesty, but we often give second chances we shouldn't because we believe in people's potential. You knew someone was lying, yet you convinced yourself they just needed more understanding. By the time you accept the truth, the damage is already done. Trust your intuition the first time. If you sense manipulation, don't explain it away, act on it. 3. We're deeply private, yet we seem open. People often assume INFJs are open books because we can talk about meaningful topics easily. But in reality, we share what we choose to share, not what's closest to our hearts. A coworker tells you how deep and honest you are, yet they don't realize you've revealed nothing personal, only philosophical or emotionally insightful observations. It's okay to be selective with what you share, but let the right people in. Vulnerability is a gift, not a weakness. 4. Our need for deep conversations versus our love for silence. INFJs crave meaningful discussions but also cherish silence. To others, this is baffling. A friend invites you out for casual chit-chat, and you decline, but if they wanted to discuss the meaning of life at midnight, you'd be the first to show up. Surround yourself with people who understand that your silence isn't a rejection, it's a reset. 5. We're extremely loyal. Until we're not. Once an INFJ commits, we're all in, until a betrayal or repeated boundary violation flips an internal switch. You've stood by a friend through thick and thin, but once you realize they don't respect your values, you vanish from their life completely. Your loyalty is precious. Invest it in those who genuinely reciprocate it. 6. We pick up on what's unsaid, yet people assume we're clueless. We notice shifts in energy, micro-expressions, and unspoken emotions, but people often mistake our quietness for oblivion. A coworker insists nothing is wrong, but you already know they're hiding frustration. Later, they explode, and you saw it coming all along. Use your intuition to navigate relationships wisely, but don't always take responsibility for what others refuse to address. 7. We're social chameleons, but we hate being fake. INFJs unconsciously mirror people to make them feel comfortable, but we despise inauthenticity. At a party, you blend into any group effortlessly, yet later, you feel drained because none of it felt real. Be mindful of how much energy you spend adapting to others. Stay authentic, even in social settings. 8. We're planners who crave spontaneity. INFJs meticulously plan everything, yet we get restless if life becomes too predictable. You schedule every detail of a trip but then crave an unplanned adventure once you arrive. Give yourself permission to balance both structured planning and spontaneous moments. 9. We're independent, yet we long for deep connections. INFJs need solitude but also desire profound, soul-level relationships. You love your alone time, but the right conversation can keep you awake until sunrise. Honor both needs. Don't feel guilty for needing space, but also nurture the connections that truly matter. 10. We want to help, but we disappear when overwhelmed. We instinctively help others but retreat when we feel emotionally drained. You've supported everyone in a crisis, but one day, you turn off your phone and vanish because you're running on empty. Recognize your emotional limits. Helping others shouldn't come at the cost of your own well-being. 11. We overthink everything, but make gut decisions instantly. INFJs analyze endlessly, yet our biggest choices often come from pure intuition. You've weighed every pro and con of a job, but deep down, you know your gut already decided. Learn to balance logic with intuition. Trust your inner knowing. 12. We love people deeply, yet sometimes we need to disappear. Our love is intense, but solitude is essential for survival. You cherish someone dearly, but after too much interaction, you crave complete isolation. Communicate this need to those who matter. Let them know it's about recharge, not rejection. 13. We are rare, and that's okay. INFJs are the rarest personality type, which often makes us feel like outsiders. You've spent your life feeling misunderstood, but that's because your depth is unique. Don't shrink to fit in. Your uniqueness is your greatest strength. 14. The INFJ paradox, two opposing selves in one. INFJs are walking contradictions. We are both idealists and realists, deeply feeling yet highly analytical, social yet loners. This paradox makes us unpredictable to others. You may be seen as an extrovert at work, leading discussions, making people feel at ease, yet once you go home, you completely shut off from the world and ignore messages for days. People assume you've changed, but really, both sides are your truth. Embrace both sides of yourself. Recognize that being a paradox isn't a flaw, it's your strength. It allows you to navigate different spaces and adapt as needed. INFJs will always confuse people, but that's part of our magic. If you resonated with this, drop a comment below. What's the most confusing thing about being an INFJ for you? Stay safe, and see you in the next video.